What's FIRST? What is FIRST?
FIRST is an organization, it's a 501c3, and the word FIRST is for inspiration and recognition of science and technology.
Yes.
Notice the word education isn't in our name, and although we're a 501c3 and although we're a philanthropy, not-for-profit, we don't claim to be an educational institution. This country's full of educational institutions. We spend an enormous amount of our tax dollars at the local level on public schools. The last thing we as an institution need to do is claim that we know how to educate. Our members aren't teachers. They're scientists and engineers and business leaders and marketing people.
Mm-hmm.
FIRST, just read our name, is for inspiration, recognition of science and technology. We believe in a culture that has become obsessed with recognizing the world of sports and entertainment. Kids never see science and engineering as something for them. We said, form a 501c3 whose entire mission is to put science and technology up against sports and entertainment in the same kind of fun, exciting, competitive environment, do competitions, do tournaments, give out great prizes, give out great recognition, fill these civic centers with bands and cheerleaders and screaming kids, have fun events, the content of which isn't teaching them how to bounce a ball. It's teaching them how to think and solve problems and use the tools of engineering and mathematics to work on teams to solve important problems. So FIRST, simply put, it's a not-for-profit whose goal is to change the culture of the United States back to the culture of the country in the world that used to be the one that created the innovations that kept raising the bar for the world.
To recapture, reclaim that can-do sort of spirit. You've had some pharmaceutical companies involved in sponsoring this, and you made a comment that I just wanted to repeat because I found it very amusing. I think it was Johnson & Johnson and Abbott, and I can't recall the third one that had won.
Yeah, we've had a lot of. So when people have said to me, Dean, but it's about robotics, so you're going to have, the automotive giants or the aerospace giants, and I go, really? Let's see. Look at the biggest sponsors we've had over the years. Yes, we have a lot of sponsorship from NASA. And yes, we have a lot of sponsorship from aerospace companies. But let's see. Johnson & Johnson sponsors a whole regional, and a very senior person, Sherry McCoy at Johnson & Johnson. She's a group chairman, and she's a woman, and she's a technologist, and she's on our board of directors for years. And let's see, Abbott, they sponsor a whole regional, and they're a pharmaceutical company, a medical products company. Baxter Healthcare. They've won event after event. They have a dynasty team, and their chairman and CEO, Bob Parkinson, is on our board of directors. And their CEO 20 years ago, Vern Laux, was one of our founding members. And Medtronic, the device company, sponsored the only state in the country where there were two regionals on the same weekend is in Minnesota, because Medtronic has just gotten so many teams, they can't even fit all their teams in one arena for an event. So you start looking across the medical products companies and the pharmaceutical giants, and it's amazing how many of them have major roles in FIRST as sponsors and as mentors. And I mean, I can't think of a big pharma company that's not got a high profile in FIRST.
So the assumption that pharma can't do robotics is a bunch of blarney, huh?
Well, and you got to remember, big pharma is more and more every day becoming a really disciplined engineering environment. Computational biology and proteomics and genomics is becoming more of an engineering discipline. Mm-hmm. And these companies, either in the products they sell or in the tools they need to develop their products, depend more and more on engineering. And so I think these companies know it's in their own enlightened self-interest to be involved in FIRST, because they're creating their workforce of the future. They're creating relationships with the companies that they need to help them develop better products faster. So I think it's a win-win for the pharmaceutical giants and the medical products companies to be involved with FIRST, and they have a very, very large presence in FIRST.
Mm-hmm. How can our listeners find out more about it first?
The best way to find out more about First is to go to our website. And I could say something like, well, go to usfirst.org because First was taken and you'd have to put UN. I could say .org, but there's an easier way. You just go to Google and you just type the word First. Well, but Dean, First, noun, adjective, First Bank, First Church, First. Just the word First, and if you type a purple rhinoceros, and you'd see thousands of ads. Type the word First at Google, you'll be millions. No, you won't see millions, you'll see billions. But you know what? Type the word First and hit enter. And the very, very, very first thing you see is always us. Larry Page and Sergey Brin, the founders of Google, are good friends of First and great supporters of First. And they support a Silicon Valley regional First. They do a lot of other things as Google and as individuals to help us. So just go to Google, type the word First, go to the first thing it sends you to. It's our organization.
It's that easy. It's that easy. And on that note, I want to thank you, Dean, very much for joining us.
Very well.
Very enlightening stuff, and you're doing just some fantastic, inspiring work, and keep it up, please, for all of us.
Trust me, we never give up.
I'm glad to hear it. And that'll conclude this interview for the 15th Annual Drug Delivery Partnerships event for the Institute for International Research. Please stay tuned for further interviews coming down the pipe. Take care.